Most people here think they're investors, but deep down they know they've never truly understood their own money. They own random funds and shares, yet couldn't explain what they actually own or how much disappears yearly. That silence costs people fortunes because the financial system keeps charging quietly while nobody pays attention to hidden losses. Markets keep moving forward every single year while most people stay distracted, comfortable, and financially asleep at the barbecue. The hardest truth is simple: nobody is coming to rescue your future or magically build wealth for you. Employers contribute 12% into retirement funds, but that alone was never designed to create financial freedom later. 12% sounds generous until you realize it only prevents poverty, not the comfortable retirement most people imagine wanting. There's a huge difference between surviving at 70 and actually living freely without constant financial stress controlling your choices. If retirement savings are your only strategy, then you don't truly have a plan, you only have hope. Half the country secretly lives under financial pressure, even though from the outside, everything still looks perfectly successful daily. You cannot invest money that already disappeared into bills, subscriptions, lifestyle upgrades, and constant paycheck-to-paycheck survival habits every month. Every forgotten subscription and impulsive spending habit silently steals future investments that could have changed your entire financial future. The market rewards ownership, not effort, because hard work alone means nothing if no money actually gets invested consistently. When nothing remains at month's end, the market has absolutely nothing left to multiply back toward your future. Most people promise they'll invest later after promotions, raises, children grow older, or life finally becomes easier somehow. But spending usually rises alongside income, almost perfectly trapping people inside expensive lifestyles, no matter how much they earn. Some people earning $200,000 yearly still live paycheck to paycheck, only now with luxury cars parked outside instead. Better habits create wealth because someone investing $50 consistently today eventually invests $500 naturally later in life. Waiting for investing to feel easy guarantees permanent delay because financial discipline always develops before wealth finally arrives naturally. You don't need 40-tab spreadsheets or impossible budgets, just one simple rule: protecting your future income before spending. Pay your future self first immediately when your salary arrives before rent, groceries, or entertainment consume everything again monthly. Investing first changes everything because whatever remains afterward automatically becomes the amount you learn living comfortably within daily. Hidden investment fees quietly destroy futures, while most people never realize how much wealth slowly disappears every single year. 1% sounds tiny until 40 years of compounding transforms small fees into enormous, invisible financial destruction over time. Expensive investment funds quietly steal wealth compared to low-cost index funds simply because most people never compare the numbers. Paying 1% instead of 0.04% could silently drain $443,000 from your future investments. That lost money could have funded a house deposit or years of freedom instead of enriching financial companies unnecessarily. The worst part about fees is invisibility because the money disappears silently without notifications, warnings, or obvious financial pain. Most investors believe markets are dangerous while ignoring the uncomfortable reality that their emotions create the biggest investment risks. Eventually, markets crash, and fear takes control, causing people to sell investments simply to stop emotional pain temporarily, immediately. Investors promise buying back later once markets calm down, but recoveries usually happen long before confidence emotionally returns again. Every major crash eventually recovered, yet panicked investors missed the rebound because fear forced them completely out early instead. Investing isn't intelligence, it's emotional control, because wealth usually belongs to people capable of staying calm during chaos. Timing the market feels smart emotionally, but repeatedly trying usually becomes an expensive fantasy, destroying long-term investment performance badly. Everyone dreams about perfectly buying bottoms and selling tops, but almost nobody achieves that consistently throughout decades investing successfully. Real wealth usually grows from investing identical amounts regularly every month regardless of scary headlines or market emotions daily. Dollar-cost averaging works because falling prices allow investors buying consistently to accumulate far more valuable investment units over time. Automation removes emotional decision-making completely, so investing continues quietly even when news headlines constantly predict financial disaster everywhere daily. Consistency and patience perform the heavy lifting while emotional investors waste years reacting nervously to dramatic financial headlines constantly. Many people wrongly believe their house alone guarantees wealth, even though property should never become an entire financial strategy. Property feels almost sacred culturally, yet homes continuously cost money through insurance repairs rates and expensive interest payments yearly. Rising interest rates expose how expensive property ownership becomes because homes consume cash even while increasing in theoretical value. You cannot retire comfortably using numbers displayed inside property apps because homes themselves never directly produce monthly income reliably. Real investing means owning assets producing cash flow while you sleep through dividends distributions and long-term business growth automatically. If every dollar stays trapped inside property walls, you're not truly wealthy, you're simply financially illiquid and vulnerable instead. Property itself isn't bad, but depending entirely upon one asset creates dangerous concentration risk, hiding beneath emotional comfort quietly. Real financial security comes from owning multiple asset types, so one difficult year never destroys your entire future completely. Diversification protects wealth, because when one investment struggles, another continues working quietly, keeping your financial foundation stable during uncertainty. Doing absolutely nothing financially still remains a decision, and usually becomes the most expensive choice over long periods later.